Hi, welcome to this session that's going to be about basic concepts of OD and change management. You will learn about the basic concepts of OD and OD practices and corporate management response to OD practices and how you can relate the organizational strategy or organizational capability to the OD practices and why you want to do that. You will learn all those aspects in this particular session. So let's move to the next slide and talk about what are the basic concepts. Now, before you learn about other advanced things, let's have a focus on what OD is about. Now, this is technically as an effort that focuses on improving organization's capability. Now, all of you, those who are working, all of you, those who are in senior positions, all of the top bosses, they always want to enhance the employees' capability. They want to improve an organization's capability. Capability for what? Capability of putting organization into the right direction. And that's only possible when you try to improve organization's capability through the alignment of strategy, structure, people, rewards, metrics, and management processes. So if you really want to enhance that, you have to see what kind of strategy you do have, what kind of structure you do have, what are the people's rewards you have fixed so that you can motivate people all of the time, what are the performance metrics are there, what are the management process, what's the leadership style you follow, what's the dealing style you follow, what is an empathy, what is recruitment process you're having, what are the inclusiveness activities you follow, you maintain in the organization. So all of those things which we're talking about is an effort. That's an OD because you want to improve organization's capability. And that's what alignment we're talking about. Now, most of the time, if I just put one corporate story for you, is that if you want to improve your organization, you just have to see outside of your organization. So you'll come to what your competitors are doing. You'll come to know why your customers are not coming to you. They're going to your competitor. You will come to know what are the business pressures. You will come to know about the government policies. You'll come to know the high tech changing preferences. You will come to know the employee preferences. You'll come to know the changing forms of technological applications, customer preferences, customer priorities, employee priorities, all of those things. When you know what's happening outside, you want to bring in your company. And if things are not working in your company, then you try to make a strategy. And when you make a strategy, you do have some change management aspects in your company. For that reason, we're talking about organizational development is that kind of effort that must be focused on organization's capability, but that's only possible through the alignment of the strategy which you have thought about. Now, if you see one more point in the same paragraph that's underlined, OD is also an implementation of practices, systems, and techniques that affect organizational change. Because you thought these things, you listed down all of the positive things for your company. So those all aspects are actually ready for the implementation and implementation of systems and practices that you really want to adopt that so that your organization can move into the right direction. In the same pattern, change management is a collective term for all approaches to prepare, support, and help individuals. Now, you want to change some of the things. You feel one of the best example could be for you is that you feel that your employees are not progressing well. You'll find out what kind of support they need, what kind of tool they need. You have to encourage them. You have to work with them. You have to prepare them. You have to tell them. You have to empower them. You will work. It's a collective kind of term. You give them feelings. You give them attachment, build kind of positive rapport with them so that they can feel like it's a sense of ownership with this company. That is a change management term that you need to apply in your company. Now, what could be the reasons to bring the change management in the companies? Of course, you want to bring a change in your company because something, some criteria or some strategy or some implementation which you have done is not actually getting profitability. It's not working properly, the plans you do have. So for that reason, you have to go ahead and find out to bring some of the changes, because that's one of the reasons you want to bring in the company, because you want to improve your company, you want to improve the performance of your people, you want to improve the productivity of your company. You want to see what are the best possible projects, what are the best possible investment factors, what you want to do in your company. So that will all help you. That's why you want to bring a change in your company. And if you see, are there any specific situations that push companies to use OD practices? There are many specific situations that could be that you cannot handle government pressures where you're operating, people, the corporate culture, which you believe that people not having any coordination. So you want to create a facilitative environment, a cordial atmosphere for your people where people are happy. When they're happy, they are ready to put more efforts. And every time you can do that, every time when you feel that there's something to be changed, so you always bring OD into that. All of the top companies around the world, they are not the top because they're just top. They're top only because they understand the basics of organizational development practices. They understand the basics of organizational capability sources. They understand the basics of alignment of strategy and structure within the organization. And they know how to make those proper implementations in the companies. So this is just a little concept for you to understand what kind of OD effort is that is focusing on improving organizational capability through the strategies. Now, this is the significance of managing change. Why it is important to manage the change. Now, this is kind of change process. You will learn different models in this course, but there are some of the basics processes I have included in some of the sessions for your understanding. So what is the basic change process? Need for change. First of all, you have to identify why there is a need for change, why it is change, who will change, why you need that change, why this need arise, why you have seen that this need has been uh, arising since many days, many months. Why you've been feeling like this one? How do you find that? Why does it need to be there? For that reason, you have to see what kind of change you require. When you see there is a change, actually that is not the answer. The answer is what kind of change. So there's a change, but then you will try to align this what kind of change you need. So for example, if the change is related to the structure, is related to the customers, related to employees, related to technology usage, related to business perspectives, related to competitors, related to launching new products. What kind of change you have identified in your company that you want to implement? What about the previous change management programs? So this is something the experience. We always say that if you're really learning from your own mistakes, you are wise. But if you're learning from others' mistakes, you are genius. So what about the previous change management programs you had seen? So if you see that some kind of change you are planning, did you learn something previously the changes happen? Did you list down the points that what went wrong? Did you list down the point that who implemented that change that didn't work? Did you list down that what hurdles, stoppages you faced during the previous changes? So what about the previous change management program? So based on that, you will learn that what kind of change you want, because this time, second time, or even the first time, you don't want to make any failures in your change process. So you got so much planning, so much great planning up to 70%, so that you're confident only 30% maybe execution of that change which you plan for your company. And number four is really interesting, and that is one of the bases to make people understand, to make people agree, to make people happy that change is always welcome. So communicate, you involve people, inclusive style you adopt. Make people understand what kind of change you want to bring. Let people know that why you want to bring that change. Tell people that why this development plan will be positive for you. Who initiates that? Who are the motivated people? Who are not the motivated people? So this is one of the technique which you have to follow, that you always find out who are the motivated people, because the same motivated people will bring other motivated people. So that's a change, a process which we are talking about, which you have to focus that how this thing will work out fine in your company. The process continues here. Change process continue here about the significance of managing change. Now here are five more points. If you see, implement change plan. Did you evaluate the hurdles? Now this is a really important one. Did you evaluate the hurdle of the previous change? Or you are trying to identify or evaluate, you're trying to just predict some of the possible hurdles that you can face. Did you evaluate that? And you evaluate that based on this is kind of risk aversion, this kind of problem aversion. So you don't want that problems, it's a corrective kind of measure that you have to do before anything happens in your company. And number second is very interesting, keep the control process, be intact with the process, closely monitor that. This is something that you have to control, preventive control and then concurrent control. You continue towards the corrective control. So you keep monitoring. If something in between not working properly, so you have to replace the tool quickly. Or if you feel, if you observe some people are not are motivated, they're not cooperating, so you have to remove, you have to change them, you have to bring that. But why this thing can happen? Because you did not plan well. If you plan well, you will not need such type of aspects happen, right, during your change process. But you got to be very intact, you got to be very connected with the process, closely monitor that things are moving in the right direction. And number third is really interesting, never initiate change until 100% confidence of your workforce and company culture. This is something that don't take a chance. Plan 70-80% plan. Do not just be casual in that, because you got to invest too much money. You are utilizing people, utilizing people's energy, utilizing companies money, utilizing companies time. So that just just don't start that, don't begin that, don't initiate so quickly, and then later on you can cry on what happened with that. So you have to see that 100% confident. One of the things which is written over here in the third point is a company culture. So if you think that some people might not cooperate you 100%, you have to change company culture, make them to be cooperative 100%, because you are going to do some great change in your company for the benefit of the company. So never initiate unless you are 100% sure. If not 100%, well, this is little 100%, if not 100%, at least 90% plus. So you're confident about that. The term we use 100% over here means that you have seen all of the aspects, all pluses, minuses, you have evaluated that. And then what happens, number four, if things may not go as per plans, list the things and learn from experience. This is one of the best thing in the corporate world. So anything that you observe is not positive, is not good, you list down the things that why it is not good, why it didn't work the way it was planned. And that one of the experience which you learn from that, next time you won't repeat. So you already prepared for the next or a forthcoming change which you want to plan for your company. And fortunately, if all the things go good, then celebrate the success, appreciate people, and institutionalize the method. So if you think the method was very good, your company got so much success, you try to set the standards, you try to list down those standards and criteria which you followed, and everybody was happy about that method. So you say, oh, I'm going to do that. Your company is going to do that. So things are so positive for your company. You happy, your employees happy, everybody happy, company got profitability, everything moving in the right direction. Wow, that is what you need in your company. Now, here are some of the things that you have to keep in your mind when you initiate the OD project or announcing a change. Some people might be insecure about the change impact. And now this slide will tell you. Now, this is one of the tactics that OD practitioners need to learn. So if some people feel that there's some insecure, whatever, and you have to listen to the people, you have to listen to the opinions of people. If somebody says that somebody is not happy with the change, can you ask that person why you're not happy? So the person will share the experience or concerns. So if you address those concerns so positively, you listen to them and explain things to them, then people will accept it. Now convert that into the change where implies what implies can suggest, and this is what the technique which I was talking about, that people always love their own ideas. They don't reject their own ideas, but the others ideas they can. And this is what I have mentioned in the second paragraph. You see, people don't resist change, they resist being changed. How to deal with such situations? Remember, you got to remember, people never resist their own ideas. One of the example I always talk about is that, imagine your boss walks into the company and he says that I want to bring a change in my company. So this is the change which I plan, and you communicate to them. In this way, if you do suddenly, then all of the employees start thinking, oh my God, what is the change? What could be change? Why he just said that? He didn't consult with us. Might possible some people may respond you, but most of the people might not respond you. They feel insecure. But if you adopt the other style, for example, you go to the morning to them, call everybody in a meeting and ask them that, ladies and gentlemen, we are not progressing well. I want your help. Can you please tell me what we should do? What our company should do? Then people start talking. We should do this, we should do this, we should do that. And then keep appreciating, oh, that's a great idea, that's a great idea. Keep listing down. Ask somebody to take notes and keep listing down. And once you go back to your office and list down those all points, draft properly, and then have another meeting, tell them that these are things which you suggested. I'm going to make changes in my company, and everybody will accept it, because people never reject their own ideas, because you already have taken concerns from them and they suggested that, and then you add your own points into that one. Things will be very good. People start sharing, start attaching themselves, having sense of ownership in the company. So these things are really important. These are some of the techniques that OD practitioners use, that you use, because you're going to be OD practitioner in this course which I'm talking about. And that's why I love this point. I've seen the positive. This is one of the greatest tool to make people happy, graceful and positive meeting environment, receptive. Keep listening to them. A great interpersonal skills. OD practitioners are supposed to be great interpersonal skills people. So this is something special that you need to maintain in the organization. So some more on the basic concepts. Let's move to the next slide. What to do to manage the change? Organizational level and individual current stress. Most of the time it happens, some employees might have a stress. So if you want to bring a change, what you have to manage? Why people have that stress? Insecurity. Why people have that stress? More work. Why people that have a stress? They don't know what's happening. So you have to provide them total awareness, total information of the change you want to bring in your company. Especially address those who will be more impacted if you feel that some people might be impacted with that, because some of the jobs will be redundant and some of the jobs technology will take it. So how do you deal with that? Number third point is related with the why people is a current stress and stressed up. Educate employees on the clarity of missions and visions. This is what company wants. If we all do this proper change, company is going to get benefit. And when company is progressing, you are progressing. When company is growing, you are growing. When we are happy, company is happy, will definitely keep you happy. So you educate employees in that way. And of course, if you see next point, that's addressing what is in it for me. So this is something special that you have to elaborate and make people realize that it's change not for organization or for a boss or a particular department. It's for you. It's for you. That's what where you communicate the logic of the change. Put the list of benefits in logic and communicate well to employees. So that will be really interesting for those people who want to bring a change, who want to have a change in the company. And what are the best practices of managing change? So this model will Kurt Levin had given the three phases of the change, which I'll talk maybe in coming sessions: unfreeze and change and refreeze. But one of the things which you have to learn is that say it once, say it twice, and say it again. So you're trying to clarify things again, and you start making some of the not rumors one, but to some extent rumors that you tell, oh, we are bringing some of the change, and slowly gradually keep making people ready that we want to bring a change, but it's still in progress and everything. Then try to find out some of the people who are really ready to bring change and try to make a team, talk to them, say it once, say it twice, and say it again. And of course, you have to monitor the communication, respect the feelings of people. This is something special because people always want respect. And the third point is one of the very effective tool that you have to facilitate people. Rather than you train and you forget them, you just train them and you forget what the training you have given to them. That's not going to work. You facilitate them, you monitor them, you concern, you be attached with them, helping them, follow them, empower them, keep monitoring that. That is the effective thing which you have to learn. And then of course build the competency level in the change and ambitious driven people. You try to find out those ambitious driven people for your company. This will help you because you try to monitor who are the best, who are the promising people in the company, who are the people who always wanted to launch something, or the people who always want to implement something, who are the people who always suggest the projects, or the people always want some responsibility. That's you build the competency level. You try to mark those people and give them an opportunity. Some more practical examples here: managing change, how you'll manage change. These are a couple practical examples. Let's start with the first one. If you are in a situation where adopting a high-tech system in the organization, so what company decides what you will do? A company decides to implement a new enterprise planning, for example. What you do, you as a change agent, the change agent or leader with change management team must develop a detailed plan and develop comprehensive training program for all employees, because the company wants to implement something. Now that thing must be trained, must be given training to the employees so that they can accept it. That would be a bad idea if you just bring high tech thing in the company and you don't train people and you imagine that they will learn on their own. No, we have to give them the basic understanding, advanced understanding, the all the detailed, the meticulous details of those processes so that company can have better understanding and employees are happy. Or you're having the second point, if you see hierarchy and culture, this is done based on the change in the hierarchy in the company. If this is the case, what company should do? Company should create a cordial culture in the company first. Inform people, help people, give them proper message that why you are having this restructuring process in your company. The good corporate culture can speed up the change process, and company can achieve wonders of profitability. And if the change is about the remote management leadership, which we have observed a lot, loads of companies are doing, for initiating this kind of remote management change can be possible when the company provides resources and tools which are necessary for the remote work. If you ask somebody, you work from home and they demanded to work from home, what kind of systems they do have, what kind of software they do have, what kind of communication they maintain, how do they maintain, how can you reach them, how can you have teamwork with the rest of the employees working from home or remote management styles. And if you see the fourth one, another example for you, you want to implement a sustainability initiative. To implement sustainable corporate activity, the company needs to train employees again, focus on that. I would like to quote one example over here about sustainability. There was one of the Japanese company in that the company announced that anybody who quit smoking, we will give you 6 days extra leave in your annual leave. Oh, loads of people responded to that. And what was the impact of this initiative of sustainability? Because people start having more focus. People started making the environment better. They stopped spending money on smoking. So lots of issues, lots of benefits of that. And of course, there are many companies also other sustainable initiatives like minimizing the paper usage and other things, wastage, minimizing the wastage of companies' resources, and many other examples like that. And the last one in this particular slide is adopting the digitization of transformation. This is another change management strategy which employs satisfaction, supplier collaboration, customer feedback. Now, this about this one, if you want to bring about this one, what customers need from you: cycle response, quick time, quick response from the company. So if they have proper system and having proper AI response or whatever response, but if that response particularly addressed, so customers always feel happiness. So that's adopting in some of the things. There might be other things as well, but that's some change you want to bring. But this will also include the training for the employees. So these were few corporate stories and examples for you that how you can manage change. So this was a session about basic concepts of OD and change management. I hope you have enjoyed this session. I look forward to seeing you soon in the next session. Thank you very much.